G'day YouTube, my name's Lance. Welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather report, look, it's really nice. 17 to 27, so the heat through the day is not too bad, but we've had these winds coming through the place and the winds have been just great. I've been doing a lot of outside work at the moment and the breeze out there has been terrific. So I just had a look at the bomb site and 37 to 40 kilometre per hour winds we're expecting today. And what happens usually in the morning, it's quite still and you can get out and do a bit, but then the afternoons, I'm running a bit late this morning. It's about 9:30 and the breeze hasn't picked up yet. It's a little bit muggy, but it'll be here. Every afternoon last week we had a beautiful breeze coming through the shed here, and even though that's good for getting a few little jobs done and knickknacks sorted out, and not real good for filming. You get washed out sounds, and we have got a bit of good sound gear here with the Tascam products, but it's still there sometimes, so not much we can do about it. But in this last week, I just haven't had time to play in the shed at all. Well, that's probably a bit of a fib. I've been up doing a bit of woodwork. I had a couple of projects for people for Christmas presents, and Jude and I got together and worked out a few things we'd do for Christmas for people, and a lot of it included using the CNC and the laser and things like that. So I've been up, I was up till 7 o'clock the other night there mucking around in there doing that, but we're not going to show that because some of the people that we've made stuff for watch the stews and things like that, so probably not going to happen. I made a nice little soap tray for the lady next door. We gave that to her yesterday, and we've been doing that. But if you recall, last week I was up at the front fence and we had it all cleared. Well, I'll have to take you for a drive. I've been busting my ass and I've got all that side of the fence done. And because we have a sandy loam, it's real sandy stuff. I bought some, on Monday I went and I bought some 2.4 metre galvanised star pickets. Now 2.4 metre, that's 8 foot star pickets. And I think there's 13 of them across the front there, and I dumped them in. So I had my workout. I'll have muscles out here soon. I'll have to get new shirts, yeah. But I put the strainer in on the gate side. I already had the strainer in Tolly's side, in the neighbour's side, and I run a bottom wire. We're running a 2.5 millimetre, I think it is, 2.5 mil Waratah wire, and it's got a blue anti-rust coating on it. And I've run that as a bottom wire, and I've got it around 50 millimetres off the ground, and then I've got some 1200 or 4 foot mesh, and the mesh, it's sort of like a hinge joint mesh, not a ring lock, a hinge joint mesh, and it's 15 strands of wire. So they're 2-inch intervals down the bottom and they spread out to 6-inch or 150 up the top. And we run a 2.5 mil top wire to clip that onto, and then the star pickets were sticking up another 50 millimetres above that, and I thought, let's put another wire there. So I've got another wire there. I'll show you what I did with the 148 when we go for a little walk. And I had an old disc, and the carry-all had a couple of pieces where box section could go in for hungry boards or for legs. So I got a big disc and I cut it out so the disc could go down on top of that, and I could put the roll the mesh down over and just drive along gently, and the mesh unrolled itself beautifully. So the fence is looking a treat. Mrs. Bear's very happy. I started sanding the gate post, and the posts in there, I do have to replace a couple of posts in the gateway, and we originally had the gateway green, and on rural properties, well on ours anyway, you see the fence comes along and then you see a panel of sleepers, which is it makes it a strong gateway, but then we go in at 45 degrees and my mate says, all you bloody outback bastards, all got to have that. And I said, well, it's so when I've got a truck with a tractor on, or I had the caravan in the car, or I've got a Land Cruiser with a trailer on the back with a tractor on, I can actually go in 3 metres further, and I haven't got the arse of the vehicle sitting out on the road while I'm buggering around opening the gate. So the idea is that you come in, you've got plenty of room off the road to open the gate, and even a large truck can with our place. So we're going to be fiddling with that. Originally we did it green. Now the Colorbond roof on the house is green, so we did the gateway green to match the Colorbond. We're having a discussion on whether we should change the colour, like the modern greys and blacky sort of colours and all that are a more modern look, but the house isn't more modern, it's still the same. So we've got a few weeks to make up our mind what we're doing. We are discussing it, but it may just end up green, the same colour as the Colorbond roof. The roof's got the green on the house, the shed's got the green Colorbond, and originally we just thought, oh, we'll pick green, that'll do. So we haven't painted that in probably 15 years or more now, and they're iron bark boards, and man, are they heavy. I pulled the top one off. I had this brainwave, I was going to put it through my thicknesser because it'll do 1 foot by 1 foot. And yeah, it'll go through all right, but you've got to force it through. It's too heavy for the rollers to drag it through. And then it gets a bit tippy. It's only a light duty thing, so I started sanding it with an orbital sander, and that wasn't much chop. So in Dad's stuff that he left, in his container that I could have for the tools, I found an old, I think it's a Ryobi, fairly light duty belt sander. So I whizzed into Bunnings and I bought a bit of 40 and 80 grit for that, just to try and get the scale and that off. And then where the square edges were, they were quite splintery, so I've run the router down there and rounded the corner. But I got my little pinky. It's been a week since I chopped the end off me pinky, off me pointer, and I was buggering around doing finalising Christmas gifts and things like that on the router, and I had a little piece, and I don't know, I can't have been thinking, and the blades go this way, and I went with the blades, and it just grabbed it and put my finger through, and we had to cut one hunk of skin off the front there. And but look, gee, it's healing really well, but I keep hitting it, can't pick my nose, and I keep hitting it. So apart from that, life's pretty good. But yeah, I bumped it yesterday and I blood pissed out again. So, but look, it's not too bad. It is healing well, but I had to have a sit down after I did it. I thought, holy. And Adele was here using the gym set. We got the gym set all up and running, and daughter Adele, she's quite shy, doesn't like getting out and about much, and she's not the sort of person that would go into the gym with all the fitness freaks and all that. She'd feel a bit out of it. So she's been here every day since we've had the gym. On her way home from work, she calls in and does her little routine, and away she goes again. So that's great. Yeah, I've been hopping on it. The days I've been up there with the fence, thump, thump, thump and posts in, I didn't hop on it those days. I reckon that was enough. That'll bloody keep a bloke going, I thought. See how we go. But yeah, and just by doing a little bit with that, I am feeling looser in the shoulders and that, which was, I'd sit back in a chair and I'd be back in my chair having a bit of a snooze with my arms behind my head, and I'd come to shift them down and oh boy. So now it's good. So it is just freeing things up a little bit. So that's the idea of it. So we're pretty happy with that. The grandkids come out Friday night and Sunday. Well, they love it. They're on there being muscle mutts, arguing over whose turn it is. Little Freya got conjunctivitis, so so we looked after the kids we as in Judy and Adele mainly, looked after the kids yesterday, so Tim could stay home, and Ellie did an extra shift at work just to, they must have needed it. Extra money's always helpful around Christmas time, so that come out okay. So, but as for in the shed here, apart from tidying up a few Christmas gifts and every afternoon getting ready for this fencing contract, I've just been out there doing manual labour, and so nothing in the shed. The pile of tools here is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I've been coming home from work. Well, I go to work between 5 and 6 in the morning most of the times, AM, and then I've been coming home, and a couple of days last week I was quite late getting home, but I mean, if I get home at 2 or 3 in the afternoon, well, I might stay out there going until 7 o'clock, 6 or 7 o'clock. So with Christmas coming, Christmas is at our place this year, so I slashed all the paddock again. That was Thursday or Friday afternoon, I can't recall. And I got all that done, and so that's tidy for that. The paddock's thickening up really nice. I've been mowing it every 2 to 4 weeks, and it's thickening up beautifully, and a lot of the woody weeds are gone. And I went round this morning early at 6 before any breeze come up, and I've done all the round upping of the fence line and round the trees and round Bundy Bear's shed and round all that. So I've got that done for the day. I've just finished filming the Sparex induction heat tool this morning. I've just been playing on the bench up the end there with this thing, and yeah, it's a good thing. Yeah, it gets those bolts red hot, and you can get them off. I had a couple I couldn't move, and it did it easily. There's a stabiliser bar, a Massey stabiliser bar with a seized thread from red dirt. I've put it on there, but it timed out. It's got a thermal overload in it, so I haven't had a chance to get back to that, but I will have a fiddle, but it may or may not be in the video, that bit. The TEA20 carby video from last week's been quite popular. It was a good little carby, yeah, and I've decided to leave it on the tractor and yeah, putt around. I've got the new Zenith up there. For those who have been waiting on we didn't sell any because we couldn't get them, but for those who are looking for a Zenith 24T carby, brand new, I believe we've got onto 3 of them. So if you want one of them, ring Ross at the shop on our shop number 1300 85 0097, and once they're gone again. Sparex did bring some in. Head's tractors down in Logan grabbed some, and we got some. So we don't know when they're a bit wishy-washy with when they're coming and when they're going. So they are available, but look, Heads have got theirs out there, I think, for $8.75. I think we might be $100 cheaper. I think we're not going for a big markup because they're scarce. We're just going for a big, just going to sell them. You know, we make a markup. We have to have a markup to stay in business. We maintain that, but if something gets rare, we don't bother putting our price up or anything like that. We just putt along as normal. Keeps life simple for everybody. So yes, there we go. I got all the front yard mowed too, yes, on the weekend, and I'm going to have to deal with the John Deere's front hub leak soon. It's leaking to an extent now where before I go slashing, I've got to fill it up and then do a bit and fill it up. So I really need to do that. But this big shed here, and I can't fit the bloody tractor in to work on it. So I've been over the last few months. At work, we've been getting these big ply packing boxes, and these packing boxes and parts boxes, and they just look so bloody handy that I haven't been throwing them out. I've been bringing them home. So I've got a whole bay up here just chockers with them, and I'm going to have to deal with it in one way or another. But to bring the tractor in to do the front hub so I can film it, because filming outside is not much chop. I think what I'll do is I'll get the 1640, I'll drop the slasher off it, and where it parks in the shed outside, I think I'll put some pallets on the ground and I'll stack some of these boxes in there so that while I'm doing the work on the John Deere 1640, they're not out in the weather deteriorating. And I think that's the way to go. That'll get the tractor inside on a concrete surface to work on for the hubs. Under good lighting so I can film what I'm doing, and I think that's the way to go. We're going to put it in narrower once we put it back together again, the front and the rear, and it's due for a good service, a big service. So I'll try. Yeah, it's got to happen pretty soon. I was thinking today if I got a chance I'd have a reshuffle with all the boxes and things like that, see if I can get organised to make a move with that. Yeah, it's something if we don't do it soon, we'll need to. Slashing the other day, it's on a John Deere, on a Mannheim tractor, you turn the key on for ignition and then you have a little lever, a start switch. And with that start switch, mine gets sticky now and then, it doesn't go right back to neutral. And if it's not right back to neutral, your gauges don't work. So I usually give it a little flick and away it goes. So I was slashing the other day and it wasn't too heavy a work, because we've kept the place slashed pretty well. And the temp gauge started coming up and coming up and coming up, and she got onto the red, and I thought, right, up the back to pressure clean it out. And normally I'll pressure clean it out, go back, and it's about halfway. So I got the pressure cleaner, I'm cleaning through the radiator, getting all the little seeds and rubbish out, and next thing the pressure cleaner stops. Oh, what's going on? Fuel everywhere. So the hose from the fuel tank to the carby has perished. Little Chinese pressure cleaner. It's a good one though, like, boy, it gives some go to it. And so I thought, oh bugger it, I haven't got time to fix that now, so I just hosed it out, blew it out, and off I went again. And I was out slashing away and she come up again on the red. And I was thinking, this tractor isn't that hot, you can tell. And I thought, I wonder is that gauge working properly? So I just got the starter switch backwards and just took it off centre and let it neutralise, and bang, it just dropped down to 3/4 straight away. And so as I kept slashing, the gauge would come up and up and up and up, and then I'd either turn the key off or take the power supply away. It's an electric sender. Take the power supply away, and then it'd drop down to 3/4 again. So I'm not sure. We did use a bit of coolant, so it was fairly warm, but I'm not sure. I'm going to, well, yesterday I went slashing early in the morning. I wriggled the wires around, went slashing early in the morning, and it come up normal and it seemed okay, never got near the red. Got to 3/4 maybe, which it often does with the slasher on. Yet the sender, and you can idle it back and you can see the temperature gauge come back and up. So I don't know whether I've got a wire starting to rub somewhere that slowly gets to earth or something like that, or whether the sender's failing. You take the wire off and it drops down, and put it on and it comes up. So we do have continuity in that line, but why it would go up into the red, then turn the key off, key on while you're still running, and it drops back, I'm not 100% sure. So I have to look at that, and I've done a lot of work with that tractor since I've had it. So when it comes in for the front hubs, it'll probably get a full oil change, oils, filters, the whole works. So we'll see how we go with that. But I've got to make a place for it. So that's when I finish the stew, that's what I'm going to do. I've been out in the paddock for a week or more now, and then it's just, I've got to where it's neat and tidy. I'll just leave that for a little while until I get more product to go ahead. The boat trailer through the week, I got the proper little spools for the discs, the calipers to go back and forth on. I've got some brake cable for it, and I've had to think about strengthening the main hitch now. I saw one like it, and the bloke said, he strengthened it because over rough conditions it cracked the single 75mm bar, and I thought, well, there's a tip. So I'll strengthen that. I've got a bit of 75 by 5 to go under, and I can leave a gap for the U-bolt. So I just gave myself more work, but that's that's all right. I've got Christmas coming up. We're going to, over the Christmas break, we're only going to have the public holidays off, but on the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday between Christmas and New Year's, we're only going to do half days. And the idea is that we can go in, we can look after people in the morning. That's when all the couriers come. We can tell people their parts will be there, or post them away, and we can do the post by 1 o'clock. Judy will do that, and once we do the post, we're all going home. So we're going to have short days. All the staff are on. They've chose to, and it was a thing they could choose to, but they've all chose to be on and have their annual leave a bit later. So we'll have a crew in there, but we're just not going to work full days. We reckon bugger it. Holiday time, you got to drink beer and all that sort of thing. So that'll be the go. So while we're on Christmas, this is the last stew before Christmas. Thanks for your support, everybody. Thanks to my sponsors, for Sparex, CRC, LSA Oils and Queensland Tractor Spares. Without the help of those people, I wouldn't be able to do half the stuff I can do in the shed. We're just rocketing along. Someone looked at the business last week. They're nibbling around. Who knows what happens? If it does sell in the new year, we're going to put a big effort into Bundy Bear's shed and try and grow it to something a bit better. You know, I'll try and get more videos out to start with, and that'll be easy. But look, have a Merry Christmas, everyone. Whether you believe in it or not, or that doesn't matter. Just enjoy the break. Get together with family and friends and have a yarn and a beer and a bit of a chat. But yeah, once again, thanks for your support. Have a Merry Christmas. Have a Happy New Year. I'll probably have a video out there in the middle there somewhere. We'll see how we go. But yeah, hopefully everyone gets a chance to have a little break and spend time with their loved ones and yeah, enjoy themselves. So once again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and thanks for your support. I'll go a little wander now. I'll do the end videos and we'll catch you later on, eh? See you. Well, this bay here, that's where I can fit a whole tractor, no worries at all. I've got the 135 and the Goldie and the Johnny there. And yeah, look, this bay here, the wood just looks too good to throw out. They're pallets with good stuff that will work with the CNC router. Those boxes there, they're good parts boxes. They sit in the pallet racking here beautifully. I've got half a pallet of books that we're waiting for the new website to work with that. And all these other boxes over the back there, I do have a little bit of room upstairs, and if I shift all this out, I may be able to pop the books up out of the way and things like that. So for the sake of bringing the tractor in to work on for filming, I will try and deal with that today. The gym set can go a little bit over. I've got another box sitting there waiting. I've got another one over under JD's engine over there, and this is what I was doing for the rolling out the netting. Now that was the heaviest netting they had. It's 2mm wires and reasonably high tensile. So you can see on the disc there, it just turns on the disc, and that worked for that. The roller wire, you got 1.5 kilometres of wire there. I think that's 2.5mm, and this tie wire, I thought I'd just buy a little, oh that's the post thumper, but you probably all know what they are. This tie wire, it's 3.1 and it's galvanised tie wire, and tie wire you can usually twist quite easy. Man, is that stuff hard. So I pulled a bit out and I thought, I'm not bloody using that. I can use that blue stuff, and it's easier to twitch up than this stuff. And there's the gal star picket. So the 148's been on duty, and the hydraulics really need some work. They're bloody rubbish. Yeah, they don't hold where they are, but I've got the stuff to do it. I've just got to get there. And the John Deere over here, see what the plan is. I've got plenty of spare pallets, so I can move the John Deere out, drop the slasher off, and while the work's going on, I can pop those boxes and all that well under cover under here, so when I get time I can deal with them. But while we're out and about, there's the orchard. We've the whole paddock's slashed, and oh, it's looking beautiful. So I might take you for a little drive up to the front fence and show you what it looks like up there. I'll put old Sansa dog in the car with me. I ain't got a dog in the car with me. Hey, coming? We go for a look. Yeah, have a look. Any skippies? Any skippies out there? Ah, you ain't got 3 legs. You can't say bloody skippies. Well, I'm trying to keep the wind away. We'll see. But yeah, that's the fence. That's what I've been doing this last weekend. And the paddock's looking beautiful. So when we come up here further, I've just round up any of the little weeds along. So yeah, she's all very heavy duty. I'll be able to farm camels or something like elephants. who knows? But I'll just tool up here and show you the gateway, and I've got the extra stays in there now to support it. And originally the gateway was green, and it may well go green again yet. Yeah, we'll get there, but you can see through there that the shed and all that, the roof's green, so it may pay to keep it like that. We'll just see. But anyway, that's what I've been doing this week. Well, I've got the camera bumping along here. That's where we park all our cars and things like that. But yeah, as we come up the back, the paddock's looking lovely. The dams are nice and full. I've got a dog huffing in my ear. But yeah, it's looking nice. That should get me off the tractor for a few weeks anyway. So I'll bring you out the side. I don't think there's any breeze at the moment, so I'll bring you out the side there. But yeah, the paddock's looking nice. I've wound up along that fence line the other day, or this morning. So yeah, I've got a few things to burn on the heap, and yeah, I think I better hop on the forklift and see if I can arrange to get this next bit of work done. As you get up the shed, it gets junkier. Some bloody old tractor blokes. Yeah.